Greetings. In this video on construction cost estimating, I am going to review the concrete section of Frank Dagostino's Estimating and Building Construction, and I'm going to plug some of those numbers into Excel. Show you how I would set up a quantity takeoff for the concrete work using his examples. Jump up here to page 109 or so. Let's see. Right here, let's start here. Foundation walls. I'm on page 97. And so we have this plan here laid out of a residence, I would assume. We have our, let's zoom in a little bit for you there. Expand this a little bit. Okay, so we have edge of footing. Yeah, so unlike most examples, we do not have, the footings are not shown as dashed lines, which is kind of confusing. They should be. The edge of the footing is a solid line, unless it's my display. No, I don't think it is. They look like solid lines. But anyway, we're not going to be reading too much of the dimensions because he's already done a lot of the work for us. So I'm not really going to be working through the formulas so much as showing you how to plug this stuff into Excel. So anyway, we have our wall, and then we have the two footing lines there, and nicely labeled each wall A, B, C. I'm not exactly sure what's going on here, but again, I'm not going to figure it all out. A, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, M, N. I guess it P, and they skip O because it looks like a 0. Okay, that's my guess. And then I don't even see MNP. I don't see P here. No matter. Again, I'm not going to solve everything. Okay, so here are the wall sides, and here are the lengths. So this is for the foundation. The foundation walls as opposed to the footings. So let's just take an overview of what exactly he is doing here. So right here, so we have the linear feet, all of these numbers added up. And let's just take a quick look at A 3810, yes. No B. No B, that might be a garage or something. Perhaps there's no wall there. I don't know. C, 1310. D, 2310. I would say that this is D. Okay, so I suspect, as I suspected I would say, if this is D, this wall D, and it says it's 25 feet, but here it says it's 2310, so I believe he would remove the corner. So this corner here, for instance, is part of wall C because he had used the whole 1310. So that little corner right there is accounted for within wall C, and then he didn't want to double count it. So this 25, he took that dimension line and pulled it down and did not double count that corner. So this 25 became 2310. I'm not going to get into the math of the sizes, the width of the walls and whatnot, but so this is the true number because he didn't double count corners. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Linear feet wall concrete, height times thickness. So the wall is 3'8" high, so that's there. There's the 303 that comes there, and the width of the wall must be 1'2". Then those numbers in feet and inches got translated into decimals, and that gives us the cubic feet, and that grand total is 1,301 cubic feet. Okay, continuing. So they're going back to the plan. Actually, I had to swing back and take a look. Wall B, how did I know that was wall B? Oh, this 32'4", right here. So somewhere in the text, I guess, above, somewhere it tells us that wall B is 8'4" in height, 8'4" in height. That's why it's excluded here. So yes, this is all the short walls, and at this one location, the wall jumps up to 8'4" for that one stretch right there, 32'4" from here to here. So that is how we are starting the next calculation of that length, 32'4", by the height of 8'4", by the width of 1'2". Translate all of those into decimals, and we get a total quantity. When we multiply the three of them, we get 315 cubic feet. And then we are taking that 315 cubic feet right here, and the 1,301 cubic feet right here, adding those two together, and at the same time dividing them by 27 and getting a grand total of 59.9 cubic yards. Okay, adding 5% for waste. So to do that, 5% is multiplying the total by 1.05. If it were 10%, it would be 1.1. 20% would be 1.2. So we have the total cubic yards multiplied by the waste factor of 1.05 for now a grand total of 62.9 cubic yards, rounded up to 63. Okay, so how do we put that into Excel? Okay, let's bring up Excel, and let's just bring this down. Okay, so let's go with foundation walls. So when I double click right here, it will expand. So you can see it's right now the column A is shorter than my text. So I just double click and that goes to there. And yeah, they call it side. I'm just going to leave it at foundation wall. And then we could put in A, and then I will hit enter and move down C and D. I'll just do the first three. And then here we could do length. Yeah, that's fine. We could do length right there. And then we will do width. And then we will do height. So, okay. Let's plug in some numbers now. So from an earlier, another presentation of mine, this is my little cheat sheet. So here, 6 inches is 0.5 of a foot, 3 inches, 0.25, 9 inches, 3/4 of a foot, or 0.275. So what I'm going to do is actually just, because I'm going to take a quick snip here, right of that. I'm going to save that right to my desktop. Close it, close it, close it, and then that I could just put right into Excel actually. And another little trick here. So these are the rows, these are the columns, and if I want to insert more, all I have to do is I left click right here, and then I right click, and then I could insert. There it is. Insert. And it inserted one just before it. Or here, right click, insert, and it inserts one right before. Or I could select however many, half a dozen, and then I insert a half a dozen. So what I'll do then is, let's see if we could insert a picture. That should be possible. Picture from this device, from my desktop, and then we'll just put that capture right in there. And I can move that around. Just put it right up there so I have my handy cheat sheet. Okay, so we got Excel is ready to go, and let's see, so we're dealing with foundation walls, and this group right here, the three that I'm doing, are three feet 8 inches tall. So that is 3 and 8 inches. 8 inches is 2/3 of a foot, right? 12 inches to a foot. 8 inches is 2/3 that, or 0.66. And they're 3, so it's 3.66 feet tall. Let's put that in length, width, height. That would be right there. And we just said 3.66. So that is the height. And just another little trick for these, I'm going to stretch these out, give these a little more space so things are a little easier to read. And then I could click, I'm holding down with the left, and then I could select a whole bunch. And right here, I'm going to center those up. All right, so these controls up here, I'll be coming back. I'm not going to give you a full tour of Excel, but I'll show you, as I go, ones that I use the most, obviously. So formatting is really important in Excel, and for this, for neatness really counts. Things need to be orderly and easy to read. So another trick, I could click here, and then this little box here at the bottom right, I get on it, and then I click with the left and hold, and I pull it down, and it populates everything below it where I just showed it to you. Okay, so that is the 3'8". Now the width of the wall is 1'2", and 2 inches is 0.16. So here's our width, and it is 1.16. And that is also a consistent number. The width of the wall does not change. So I'm going to pull that down, and that's consistent. Now the lengths vary. So the length of A is 38 feet 10 inches, 38.10. And 10 inches is 0.83. So 38.83. 38.83. Seawall is 1310. 13.83 again. And D wall is, again, 2310. 23.83. Okay, so now we have the information that we need, and the next step would be to crunch the numbers, so to speak. So let's put in our cubic feet here. And here we will do cubic yards. Let's open those up a little bit. They're centered already. So this number here is the product of these three. So I'm going to click once to get into the box, type equal, click on this box, and then on my keyboard I am going to hit the star, which is above the 8. Shift 8, Shift star, however you want to say it. And then I will select this box, and again, star, and this box, and enter. And now, so the A wall is 164 plus, and change cubic feet. Now I'm going to select these two columns, and I'm going to come up here to the formatting. Let me just expand this so you can see it all. So this is number formatting. I'm going to say that these two columns are numbers, and actually I'm going to come down to the bottom and say more number formats. And then here, so it actually worked once, because this was set by default, I guess, to 2. So it had like a whole string of like 4 or 5 digits there that I didn't want, so I was coming here to change it, but it was the default that you could see. This is the place to do it, however many you want. You should be able to set it. So now one more time, let's center those up. Okay, and then really nice again, this formula, now this is set with a formula, and if I double click in it, it shows me that formula. Okay, and then I could just click once, grab that little box. Oops, nope, not like that. I'll just get just like that, not to move, just like that. Carry it down, and there it is. I could zoom in a little bit for you too. I don't need all that white space there. Okay, all right, so that worked well. Now, how should we do this? We could, I think it would be best to show the cubic yards of each wall. So the cubic yards is this number divided by 27. So here I will do, just let's call it a factor. You call it factor, just 27, just that. I'll note, kind of a note to self. And then here I will put 27. Or perhaps I'll do it like this, factor 27, something like that. And then this right here equals, actually, hold on, stop. Actually, this does have to come down. I think I need this everywhere. And then, so one more time, this equals cubic feet divided by 27. Enter. And so foundation wall A is 6.11 cubic yards. And again, now I could pull this down and get that totaled up. And if I double click on this, yes, it uses that 27. So I needed that number there. Okay. Then we could add these up. That would be our next step. So yeah, we could say right here, we could total colon, and then here we could do equal, pull down, cover what you need. Let's just, no, hold on, I didn't do that correctly. Equal sum, and I forget if you need a parenthesis or not. Yeah, see, that was an error, so let's just go backwards. Or actually, go forwards. If you have something like that in a box, an error or something you don't want, it's left click, right click. So that's always your context menu. Whenever you right click on something, whatever it is, right click, and then this is everything you're allowed to do with that cell. So right click, and I could clear contents, and then that just erases it. I could obviously just step backwards, but it's important to know clear contents. So one more time, equal sum, parenthesis, select them all, end parenthesis, enter. And that is my total cubic yards. Yes, and labeling is super important. So be clear. You always have to say what what you're measuring in actually. And then let's just add some waste to this. So let's put that. Let's put waste here, and then we could give it its own factor. So again, always include all the information, 5% waste, let's say that. And so 5% would be this number multiplied by, or actually let's do with 5% waste. This number multiplied by 0.105. So if it was 10% waste, it would be 1.1. If it was 20% waste, it would be 1.2. This is adding 5%. So we're saying, let's multiply this 12.3 by 1. So that's going to give us, by that 1, it's going to give us the 12.3 right back. And then we want 0.05% or 0.05 of that, multiply it, and that is the waste. So equals this guy star multiplied by this guy, enter. And that looks about right. Okay. Let's pause here for a moment. Okay, I moved forward a little bit here, and now let's take a look at a concrete slab. So I moved forward to page 99. Again, I'm not going to figure his example out. We'll be doing our own examples. I'd rather spend time on that and not deciphering this particular plan completely. But just looking quickly here, so here he's set up his slab, so he came up with a total. See, he didn't label it. Total, I would assume that is cubic feet. Cubic feet, I would have to assume, yes. But yeah, it is. But he didn't label it. So always label. But let's just take a look at this part here, the covered patio, 25 by 15. So that's probably this little piece here. So very simple. We could come down here and let's say slabs, covered patio, and we could really, I could just copy these, Control C, Control V, and now we just do it again. So actually I should have copied them here. One more time, Control C, Control V, escape, and then right click, clear contents. Okay, so the covered slab is 25 by 15. So let's put that in here. And so we don't have any fractions. That's easy. 25 by 15. And the length. So the length is the depth of the slab itself. And where are we going to find that? Not sure what that is actually. I see slab on grade 4 inches. It's a patio, so I'm gonna just guess that it's 4 inches here because this doesn't finish it. This covered patio 15 by 12. That's just a 2-dimensional square footage right there, and that's all he says. He's totaling up actually square footage. So so I was wrong actually. That's not cubic. It was labeled up here. I would like to see it there. Total square feet. So yeah. So this is just square footage. Kind of a weird way to do that. I don't know why he didn't calculate in the depth of these slabs yet. I'm not sure, because here it seems like he goes on to reinforcing, so I'm a little confused about that. But regardless, we'll just stick with this example. So let's say that this patio here is a 4-inch slab on grade. So let us put in so length, width, height. Actually, I would pick up these two numbers, Control C, Control V, put them there, and let's change height here to depth. And it is 4 inches, which is 1/3 of a foot, right, per our thing here. 4 inches is 1/3 of 12, or 0.33, so it is just 0.33. It is less than a foot. It's 1/3 of a foot. And then we could do the same. So this is the same as that. We can't drag it down. So equals this guy times this guy times this guy, enter. And the factor is again 27 here. And this equals this guy divided by this guy, and that's that. Okay, and then we could do waste again. Control C, Control V, and you could do more than one too. So I could actually, let's see, so right here, I click here, and if I was holding down Shift, it would do all three. But if I select this and now I hold Control, it jumps over, and Control is just the ones you're selecting. So select, if I'm holding Shift, I get them all. If I have one and I hold Control, I just get those. So one more time, here and here. Now Control C, down here, Control, oh, nope, that's an error. I thought that would drop it right there. Let me undo that. Let's just try it right from the start. Clear contents, one more time. Just these two, Control C, Control, no, see, it's going back there. That's strange. Okay, so it does not work in that application. I have to do them separately. Control C, Control V, Control C, Control V, equals, we're adding the waste, so it equals this guy multiplied by this. Enter. We found a typo in your formula. Oh, okay. Do you want to accept this correction? Yes, that correction looks good. And there we go. So, and then we also have highlighting here. I like these quieter colors, something like that, and so we didn't, so now one thing that we didn't do, I was just thinking for a moment, let's for instance, if we know more are coming, I'm just going to insert 2 more. So we could have here, we could have, such as put in garage, for example, and then we would have more numbers coming. So the problem with what I just did actually is I was just assuming there was going to be one portion to the slab, so I'm actually going to undo this. So I'm going to just jump in there and clear the contents, and I'm going to assume, I'm going to put it in one more yet, and then I'm going to do this. This is really what I need. Control C, Control V, and then from here, so just for instance, let's just say here, I'll do equal sum parenthesis, and then I'll come down, grab, because there's going to be a future number there, close it, and so for instance, when that number comes in later, it will go into the full total. All right, I kind of jumped the gun and was doing waste on just one when I knew there was more coming. I'm not going to do the others, but anyway, so now this works. So now here we could go equal this cell times that cell. Better. This is also a total, and then down here we could do grand total, and then we could do equal sum parenthesis, select one, hold control. No, I don't think I need control. So, nope, yep, I do need control. Select one, control, select 2, close parenthesis, enter, and then we'll give that a color as well. Okay, I think that's a good stopping point. It begins to show how to, and you could also, insert in between things like that if you forget something. But again, a good stopping point. I think we took a little bit of a look at the book and figured out walls plus the slab and how to total things up in Excel. Okay, thank you. Good luck.